One of the biggest names in, I guess you would say, basketball, period, has joined us. Nice touch pass down low. Posen puts it in. And that is Nancy Lieberman, is the mother of TJ Klein, who right now he averages 17 right now in the game. He's got 7 as Plano West extending the lead a little bit there, Jackson 4. But Nancy, good to have you up here.
It's really fun to be out here. I've watched more high school games this year, I think, than I've watched my entire career. A couple of my players from the Texas Legends are here, Booker Woodfox, Antonio Daniels. So we get a chance to see Plano West, get a chance to watch what TJ's been doing his senior year, and I'm really proud of the team.
You know, TJ is a semi-amazing story to me because when I first saw TJ about 5 years ago, he was about 5'9", 5'10". He's now 6'7", and a very viable college prospect. You got to be pretty proud of the progress he's made over the years.
We're just proud of the progress he's made over the last 6 or 7 months because if you remember, he almost got cut from the JV team
last year, yeah.
And he worked so hard during the summer with a friend of mine, Ron Spivey, who was my teammate in the 1986 USBL. And he just applied himself, and obviously he's growing into his body, and it's really cool to see, a nice kid work hard and good things happen.
And, this whole Plano West crew really has had a heck of a year. You talk about going 25-8. Holt Harmon ready to go to Cornell. I mean, they've really accomplished a bunch this year.
Well, Anthony Morgan is an unbelievable coach. He really has the pulse of the team. He works very hard. He's a student of the game. Holt, has been on the varsity, I think it's 4 years now, but look at all the incredible talent. Look how good, Jackson Forbes is. Very athletic, great guards defensively. I just love this team.
Get it down low to Holt Harmon, couldn't get it go. Nancy, why don't you explain this defense that Keller's in? I haven't been able to figure it out. Looks like a very, very loose 2-1-2 where they're all over the half court.
Well, they are playing zone. They're trying to take the inside away because that's the bulk of the scoring for Plano West. It would behoove the guards of Plano West to try to get that zone sided on one side and then quickly reverse the ball. Sometimes they hold it a little bit too long, and the defense always catches up on the bounce. Well,
TJ made a good defensive play down there as he was able to react very quickly and get a steal for Plano West, but West not able to convert there. It's 34-21, the folks from Plano West with a lead right here. And, of course, Nancy, as we saw in that game, Marcus was challenged by Northwest. So in this part of the year at the playoffs, anything can happen.
Well, anything can happen if the game is close, but Danny Henderson's team is fabulous. They're loaded with D1 guys that are going to be impact players at the next level. So if this thing gets close, anything can happen. You want to make sure you're supposed to beat the teams you're supposed to beat.
Ryan Kruger nailed a 3 down there, so that pulls the folks from Keller within 10. It's 34-24. The pass, Plano West tried to go inside. The ball was knocked out of bounds, and they get into TJ. TJ uses the glass nicely there. He now has 9 points. That makes it 36-24. But Keller is just hanging out. They're hanging around. They just can't get rid of him. Outside shot by Kruger again can't go. And they come away with Posen. Another thing I really would be remiss if I didn't mention, at one time you were actually my boss for a week at a camp that I very much enjoyed working at. And a lot of the reason I enjoyed it, boy, you really make yourself available to those young people at those camps.
It happens to be my 30-year anniversary of my basketball camps here in Dallas, and I have my camps at Frisco at Fieldhouse USA. I'm at camp every day, all day with both boys and girls. We have the best coaches, my Legends players, and I just feel really fortunate to be able to get on the court and still do things that I love, and that's play this game and teach this game.
As the folks from Keller on the offense now, Mike Opolsky puts it in. That makes it 36-26, and I believe we're going to have a foul from behind there. But at any rate, we've got 4:53 left. Plano West leading this one 36-26, and we really do have a kind of interesting treat because Nancy Lieberman, who was normally heard on the worldwide leader of sports, ESPN, has joined us. And we appreciate you doing that, Nance.
What? You're not paying me to do this game?
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll have to check with Coach Prince and the budget there. As Tim Postman puts it in, that makes it 4 points for him, 38-26.
I really like when Plano West plays at a little bit of a faster pace because they have the athletes to push the tempo, read the numbers, and pull it back. But Keller's a really smart team. They're very opportunistic. They're very good three-point shooters.
They did turn it over there, though, as Clausen's able to come away with it. He drives the lane, and they strip him a little bit, so he has to get the ball back in the corner to TJ from three-point range. Bingo! TJ nails another three. He works at those a little, doesn't he, Nance?
Holt Harmon doesn't get the credit he deserves, for being able to be not only a big guy in the middle, but he's a really, really tremendous passer, and he understands time, score, possession, and he and TJ play really well together.
The other thing, too, I noticed about TJ, those no-look passes, you really got to be a savvy player to pull those off. And to me, they're the toughest kind of things to defend because when it's bing, it's just so tough to defend, and he's done that several times this evening.
It was so funny because, TJ's always been a shooter, loved to shoot the basketball forever from long range. And one day he was coming down, and he made one of those, no-look passes, and I was like, oh, my God, that's my son. He passes like his mommy. It was actually pretty fun, but you know what? No matter how good you think you are, you're never better than the team, the whole of the team. And he really appreciates all his teammates and what they do and their contributions.
Now, as far as being recruited by colleges, as we discussed before, his real, I guess you'd say, challenge is that he's now just finally showing up on the radar of colleges. Much interest there from colleges?
It's been unbelievable. There were seven colleges at the last regular season game, but Stetson and Furman and UC Asheville and Northern Michigan and UC Riverside. There's about 8 or 9 colleges right now, Old Dominion, that are seriously taking a look at him. We've spoken to Jacksonville, Monmouth. So we'll just have to see. We'll see, we pray about it and we don't worry about it.
Yeah,
whatever's supposed to happen will happen for him.
41-26, the folks from Plano West up by 15 now, so they are putting some distance between they and the folks from Keller.
We keep a stat with the Legends. What do we do coming out of timeouts? These are important possessions here. You want to make sure you come out of a timeout. That time Plano West fouls, but a smart play by Keller going to the basket.